So the theory involving Euron Greyjoy and the Faceless Men, that they conspired to remove Balon Greyjoy from this earth. This comes from a prophecy in the books by a character known as the Ghost of Highheart. Arya Stark and the Brotherhood Without Banners, they come across the Ghost of Highheart and they hear her say something about the Greyjoy brothers, amongst other things. In Book 3, A Storm of Swords, she says, "I dreamt of a man without a face waiting on a bridge that swayed and swung. On his shoulder perched a drowned crow, with seaweed hanging from his wings." To add to the Ghost of Highheart's credibility, she also makes reference to a shadow with a burning heart butchering a golden stag, so Stannis and Renly Baratheon, and of a roaring river and a woman that was a fish, dead she drifted, Catelyn Stark. In fact, the Ghost of Highheart predicts the Red Wedding before it's even happened. Actually, she's not the only one who does that. So when she makes this reference to the Greyjoys, it feels like, okay, she seems to be right about most things. So let's explore this a bit more. Let's start off with the bridge. Balon Greyjoy ruled the Iron Islands from Pike, and this was a place that had lots of individual towers that were connected by these rope bridges. So that fits. The bit about a drowned crow. Firstly, Euron Greyjoy is a seafarer, an adventurer, but he's also known as Euron Crow's Eye, because in the books he actually wears an eye patch over one eye. Now, seaweed hanging from his wings. Now, I am going out on a limb here a little bit because we don't actually know what that pertains to, but Euron talks about a dragon egg that he had discovered in the ruins of Old Valyria when he was going about his travels. Now, he claims that he threw it into the sea. So is the seaweed hanging from the wings, is that a seaweed covering a dragon egg that's been thrown overboard, a dragon egg that's been an offering to the drowned god? We know for certain that nobody wanted to get rid of Balon Greyjoy more than Euron. Even though Balon had children, Euron, as the next brother in line, he thought he deserved the Seastone chair. So in terms of motive, no one has a bigger one than Euron. So where do the Faceless Men come into this? I dreamt of a man without a face. Is that relating to Euron with his eye patch, with the missing an eye? Is it to do with his physical appearance? Or is it a nod to him having hired a faceless man to do the job? Alternatively, I wouldn't put it past Euron Greyjoy to have tried to join the Faceless Men. I could see that happening. He's not easily freaked out. He's the type to explore the dark side of things. I don't think he would be perturbed in the way that most everyday people would be by the Faceless Men. Alternatively, if it's not Euron, and I don't think it's not, but let's be devil's advocate for a second. The whole thing with the Faceless Men is you can hire them to do this kind of stuff. So what if somebody wanted to get rid of Balon but pin it on Euron? They hired a faceless man, and that faceless man had the guise of Euron to make everyone think it's actually him. There are two other Greyjoy brothers, Victarion and Aeron. I'm not saying it's them, but we can't rule it out. Honestly, the Greyjoy brothers and the issues between them, it's like a soap opera. If I had to put money on what happened, I'm going with Euron did it. He did it for glory, he did it for power. But I do think he had help from the Faceless Men, that he struck a deal with them. Maybe he didn't throw the dragon egg into the sea. What if he threw it into the canals of Bravos? I am spitballing here, but that would be interesting. The Faceless Men have an interesting relationship with dragons. The origins of the Faceless Men, allegedly, came from the mines of Old Valyria. They might have actually been behind the doom of Valyria happening. So I wouldn't rule out the Faceless Men wanting to acquire a dragon egg, because they've seen what happens when dragon eggs wind up in the wrong hands. And Euron Greyjoy is the definition of the wrong hands.